Have you ever noticed something incredibly frustrating? You can speak politely. You can be right. You can even have the most logical argument in the room. And still, some people dismiss you as if your words carry no weight at all. Most people believe that respect is a product of volume. They think it comes from being the loudest, from winning the most arguments, or from physically dominating a room. But Stoicism teaches us the exact opposite. True power does not live in volume. It lives in calm precision. It lives in words that land with weight because you are not begging to be heard. You are not performing for applause. You are speaking from a place of unshakable internal authority. Today, we are exploring 10 phrases that instantly command respect. These are not just words. They are Stoic communication rules that act as a psychological shield and a tactical sword. Stay with me because phrase number 3 is the fastest way to flip a heated moment without ever raising your voice. And phrase number 7 will change the way you handle manipulative people forever. Once you use these correctly, you will feel the shift in the room immediately. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Respect isn't something you demand through words alone. It is something you demonstrate through your self-control, your boundaries, and the way you carry yourself when everyone else is losing their mind. Respect is earned in the silence between your words. Let's dive into the 10 phrases of Stoic power. Phrase 1, I understand your point, but I disagree. This sentence is remarkably calm, yet it is anything but weak. Most arguments don't break because of a disagreement over facts. They break because of a clash of egos. The moment you tell someone, "You're wrong," their brain enters a defensive state. They stop listening and start digging in their heels. But when you begin with, "I understand your point," you disarm the ego. You show that you have the intellectual maturity to listen. You show that you aren't insecure. Then you follow up with the line that matters. But I disagree. There is no attack. There is no apology. There is only a firm, clear boundary. Imagine you are in a high-stakes meeting and someone pushes a plan is fundamentally flawed. Instead of staying silent out of fear or starting a shouting match, you look them in the eye and say, "I understand your point, but I disagree." Your voice remains steady. Your face remains calm. Suddenly, the dynamics of the room shift. People stop seeing a competitor and start seeing a leader, someone who can disagree without being disagreeable. Phrase 2, I don't find that appropriate. This phrase is only 5 words long, but it can stop disrespect in its tracks like a brick wall. When someone crosses a line, whether it's a rude joke, a personal jab, or an invasive question, most people react in one of 3 ways. They laugh nervously, they stay quiet and endure it, or they play along to avoid the tension. In all 3 cases, you are teaching that person that it is okay to disrespect you. You are rewarding their bad behavior with your compliance. But if you use the Stoic rule of setting an immediate boundary with, "I don't find that appropriate," the atmosphere of the room changes instantly. It doesn't argue. It doesn't provide a lecture. It simply marks the line where your dignity begins. Imagine being at a dinner where someone makes an offensive comment and looks at you for a laugh. You pause. You breathe. You look at them directly and say, "I don't find that appropriate." No drama, no long speech, just pure dignity. The hidden benefit is that when you say this, you often give everyone else in the room the permission they were looking for to stand up as well. If you find these insights helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but it's a meaningful way to support the journey we are taking together toward a life of resilience and calm authority. Phrase 3, let's talk when we can do so respectfully. This is the Stoic way to refuse chaos without running away from the situation. There is always a tipping point in a conversation where it stops being an exchange of ideas and starts becoming a battle of emotions. Voices rise, people interrupt, words are turned into weapons. Most people make the mistake of either matching the aggression or retreating and feeling powerless. This phrase creates a third option: control without conflict. You don't say it with a snarl or as a threat. You say it as a matter of fact, like a law of nature. Let's talk when we can do so respectfully. By saying this, you are refusing to play on their terms. You are signaling that your time and your attention are reserved for rational discourse, not emotional tantrums. If a colleague starts talking over you or becoming hostile, you don't compete with their noise. You pause, say the phrase, and then you stop talking. That silence isn't a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate message. I am not here to be dragged into the mud. Phrase 4. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every debate deserves your time. Epictetus taught that we should be careful about what we allow into our minds. Some people argue because they want to understand, but many people argue simply because they want to win. They will move the goalposts, use logical fallacies, and try to exhaust you until you surrender. Protecting your peace is a core Stoic virtue. This phrase allows you to close the door without slamming it. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. It is devoid of anger and insults. You are not running away out of fear. You are choosing your own well-being over useless noise. If someone keeps provoking you, trying to pull you into emotional mud, you simply recognize the trap. Step back and say the words. Walking away from disrespect isn't losing. It's refusing to waste your life on something that doesn't matter. Phrase 5. That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. In a world where everyone has an opinion on how you should live, work, and think, this phrase is your shield of independence. Most people respond to pressure by either fighting for hours to prove they are right or bending and pretending to agree just to keep the peace. Both are failures of character. The Stoic path allows you to respect the person without surrendering your own judgment. That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. It is firm without being hostile and polite without being submissive. When a family member or a colleague insists you follow their way of thinking, you don't need to apologize for being different. You simply state your position and stay steady. It prevents the other person from feeling attacked while simultaneously making it clear that you cannot be moved. Phrase 6. I need to think about that before I respond. The hallmark of a weak person is impulsivity. When someone asks a difficult question or pushes you for a commitment, the instinct is to fill the silence immediately. We fear that taking time to think makes us look slow or uncertain. But the Stoics valued phronesis, or practical wisdom. Wisdom requires space. By saying I need to think about that before I respond, you are demonstrating that you are the master of your own mind. You are signaling that your words are valuable enough to be considered carefully. This phrase commands respect because it shows you cannot be pressured into a reactive state, whether it's a complex business, proposal, or a personal request. That feels off. Give yourself the Stoic gift of time. People respect those who think before they speak far more than those who speak to avoid thinking. Phrase 7. My silence is not an invitation to keep speaking. This is the ultimate tool against those who try to bulldoze you. We've all dealt with the person who takes your silence as a sign that they are winning or as a gap they need to fill with more manipulation. They talk at you, not to you. When you say, my silence is not an invitation to keep speaking, you are making it clear that you are observing the situation, not submitting to it. It is a very direct way to reclaim the space in a conversation. It tells the other person that their tactics are being recognized and that they are failing. It is a phrase used by those who have a deep sense of self-worth. You are not being rude, you are being precise. You are correcting their misunderstanding of the social dynamic. Phrase 8. I'm comfortable with the silence. Silence makes people nervous. In a negotiation or a tense social interaction, the person who speaks first to break the silence is often the one who loses their leverage. We use filler words and nervous chatter because we are afraid of the void. But a Stoic is comfortable in the void. If someone asks you a question designed to make you squirm, or if they stop talking to see if you'll fold, you can simply say, I'm comfortable with the silence. Or better yet, you can say nothing and let your body language communicate that comfort. When you do verbalize it, it signals a massive amount of self-assurance. It says that you don't need to perform or entertain. You are grounded in your own being. It is an incredibly high-status move that commands respect without a single aggressive word. Phrase 9. Help me understand why you think that's a productive thing to say. This is a powerful flip phrase. When someone insults you or makes a passive-aggressive remark, they are trying to put the burden of the emotion on you. They want you to get defensive. They want you to explain why they are wrong. By asking, "Help me understand why you think that's a productive thing to say," you are putting the burden back on them. You are stepping out of the role of the victim and into the role of the observer. You aren't getting angry. You are asking for a rational explanation for irrational behavior. This often leaves the disrespectful person stumbling for words because there is no logical defense for their behavior. It forces them to confront their own pettiness in the light of your calm inquiry. Phrase 10. I have said all I intend to say on this matter. This is the phrase of finality. One of the greatest drains on our respect is the tendency to repeat ourselves. When we repeat our arguments over and over, we sound desperate for the other person to agree. We look like we are seeking validation. A Stoic knows when the work is done. Once you have stated your position clearly, any further talk is just noise. I have said all I intend to say on this matter. This phrase signals that the topic is closed. It shows that you are not open to being persuaded by emotional appeals or repetitive circular logic. It demonstrates a level of finality that is rare in modern communication. It is the verbal equivalent of a king closing his court. When you use this, you must mean it. You must be willing to move on to the next topic or leave the room. Why these phrases work? The Stoic pillars of communication. Each of these 10 phrases shares 3 core Stoic qualities that are essential for anyone seeking to build a life of character and influence. First, they separate emotion from reaction. Stoicism isn't about having no emotions. It's about not being a slave to them. When you use these phrases, you are choosing a rational response over a biological reaction. You are engaging the prefrontal cortex rather than the amygdala. Second, they set boundaries without aggression. True strength doesn't need to be hostile. In fact, the more hostile you are, the more people sense your fear. These phrases allow you to be the rock in the middle of a storm. The waves may crash against you, but the rock doesn't need to shout at the waves to stay standing. It just stays. Third, they come from a place of self-respect. This is the most important rule. You cannot get respect from others if you do not have it for yourself. If you allow people to talk over you, insult you, or manipulate your time, you are signaling to the world that you don't value yourself. These phrases are the tools you use to tell the world exactly how you are to be treated. The paradox of respect. There is a fascinating paradox at the heart of Stoic communication. The less you chase respect, the less you try to look powerful or beg people to listen, the more people actually respect you. People can sense when your calm is real. They can sense when you aren't performing for them. They can sense when you are not afraid of their disapproval. When you are comfortable with being misunderstood, you become dangerous to those who use social pressure as a weapon. When you are comfortable with walking away, you become the most powerful person at the negotiating table. When you are comfortable with your own silence, you become the most respected person in the room. The inner citadel of words. Think of these phrases as the architecture of your inner citadel. A citadel is a fortress built on high ground. It is the last line of defense, but it is also the place from which the city is governed. Your mind is that citadel. If you allow the noise, the disrespect, and the chaos of others to flood into your mind, your citadel is breached. By using these phrases, you are building the walls. You are deciding who gets in and who stays out. You are deciding which conversations are worth your divine spark and which are merely the barking of dogs. As Marcus Aurelius might say, applying the wisdom, the 1-week challenge. Respect isn't something you learn, it's something you practice. You cannot simply watch this video and expect your life to change. You must take these tools into the real world. I want to challenge you this week. Choose just one of these 10 phrases. Perhaps it's "I understand your point, but I disagree." Or maybe it's "I need to think about that before I respond." Commit to using it just once in the next 7 days. Don't use it to win a fight. Don't use it to be mean. Use it to stay centered. Use it to see how it feels to hold your ground without losing your temper. Watch what happens to the person you are talking to. More importantly, watch what happens to you. You will feel a sense of internal alignment. You will feel the weight of your own character. You will realize that you don't need to be loud to be heard. The final message: character is built in small moments. It is built in the moment you decide not to laugh at a joke that isn't funny. It is built in the moment you decide to walk away from a toxic argument. It is built in the moment you decide that your peace of mind is not for sale. The strongest person in the room is rarely the one doing the most talking. It is the one who can stay calm, stay firm, and stay true to their principles when the world is trying to pull them in 1,000 different directions. That is the definition of Stoic power. Here at Stoic Journal, we are building a community of people who refuse to be victims of their environment. We are building a community of people who value wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance above all else. If this mission resonates with you, then you belong here. If this video helped you, like it and subscribe to the channel. It ensures that the algorithm keeps bringing these timeless lessons to you and to others who are searching for strength in a chaotic world. Together, we will keep building our calm authority, one conversation at a time. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these phrases do you struggle with the most? Or which one have you used that actually worked? Comment below with your pledge. Simply write, "I will speak with calm precision." Let those words be the start of your new life. Thank you for walking this path with me. Stay stoic, stay strong. And remember, your mind is your own. Never let anyone else sit on its throne. Deep dive. The philosophy behind the phrases. To reach our goal of truly understanding this power, we must look deeper at the philosophical foundations. Stoicism is often misunderstood as repressing emotions, but in the context of communication, it is actually about emotional intelligence at its highest level. The concept of lector, the expressibles. The Stoics believed that language was a bridge between our internal reason and the external world. They called the meaning of what we say lector. When you speak, you aren't just making sounds. You are projecting your internal logic into the world. If your logic is chaotic, your speech will be chaotic. If your mind is disciplined, your phrases will be commanding. When you use a phrase like, "I don't find that appropriate," you are projecting a very specific lector. You are projecting the meaning that you are a person of high standards. You aren't just saying words, you are stating a fact about the universe you inhabit. The virtue of sophrosyne, temperance. Temperance is often thought of as just moderation in food or drink. But for the Stoics, it was also moderation in speech. It is the ability to say exactly what is needed, no more, no less. The narcissists and the disrespectful thrive on excess. They want excessive drama, excessive explanation, and excessive emotion. When you respond with a phrase like, "I've said all I intend to say," you are exercising sophrosyne. You are cutting off the excess. You are being temperate. This acts as a psychological vacuum for the other person. They are looking for a fire to feed, and you are giving them no oxygen. The Stoic view of the other. We must remember that the Stoics believed all humans possess a spark of the logos, or universal reason. Even the person being disrespectful has this spark, though it is currently covered by the rust of their ego and ignorance. When you say, "Let's talk when we can do so," respectfully, you are actually speaking to that spark of reason within them. You are refusing to engage with their rust, their anger, ego, and demanding that they bring their logos to the table. This is why these phrases often make people stop and think. You are literally calling them to a higher level of existence. The psychology of respect. Why do these phrases command respect instantly? It's because of a concept known as status signaling. In every human interaction, there is a subtle negotiation of status. High-status individuals are generally less reactive. They don't have to prove themselves. They don't have to explain themselves. Low-status individuals are often high-reactive. They laugh at things that aren't funny to please others. They talk too much to fill the gap. They get angry because they feel threatened. By using Stoic phrases, you are signaling high internal status. You are showing that your sense of worth is not dependent on the other person's reaction. This is incredibly attractive and commanding. People are naturally drawn to those who are grounded. They want to be around the person who doesn't fold under pressure. Tactical silence, the Stoic's best friend. We cannot talk about Stoic communication without talking about the power of the pause. Before you use any of these 10 phrases, there should be a Stoic gap. When someone says something disrespectful, do not respond for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. In those 3 seconds, you are processing. You are deciding. You are showing the world that you are not a machine that produces a reaction when a button is pressed. You are a conscious being who chooses a response. Oftentimes, that 3-second pause is more powerful than the phrase itself. It makes the other person realize that they have made a mistake. It gives them time to feel the awkwardness of their own behavior. Then, when you deliver the phrase, "I don't find that appropriate," it lands with the force of a gavel, handling the pushback. What happens when you use these phrases and the other person doubles down? What if you say, "I'd prefer not to continue this conversation," and they follow you? This is where Stoic persistence comes in. You do not need a new phrase. You simply repeat the one you have, or you go to total silence. The Stoic does not get flustered because the tactic didn't work immediately. Remember, you aren't using these phrases to control the other person. You are using them to maintain control over yourself. If they continue to be disrespectful, it is a reflection of their character, not a failure of yours. As Marcus Aurelius would say, a cucumber is bitter. Throw it away. There are briars in the path. Turn aside. That is enough. Do not add, "Why were such things made in the world?" If the conversation is toxic, turn aside. That is enough. You have done your duty to yourself and to the truth. The legacy of the Stoics. Think of the men who used these principles. Cato the Younger, who stood up to Julius Caesar with such dignity that even his enemies admired him. Seneca, who remained calm and continued to teach his students even as he was being forced into a tragic end by the tyrant Nero. These men weren't powerful because they had armies. They were powerful because they had a language of the soul. They knew that a man who cannot control his tongue cannot control his life. By practicing these 10 phrases, you are practicing the same discipline that made these men legends. You are training yourself for the great game of life. You are moving from being a pawn of your emotions to being a grandmaster of your interactions. Final thoughts on character and communication. In the end, your words are a mirror of your soul. If you use these phrases as tricks or manipulation, they will eventually fail. People will see through the act. But if you use them as an expression of a deeply held belief in your own dignity and the value of reason, they will be unstoppable. The goal of Stoicism is not to become a cold person. It is to become a deep person. It is to become someone whose yes means yes and whose no means no. It is to become someone who can be trusted in a crisis and respected in a calm. Choose your words carefully, guard your silence, and never forget that you have the power to command respect, not by being loud, but by being unshakable. I will speak with calm precision. If you haven't yet, write that in the comments. Let it be the seed of your new character. And I will see you in the next video as we continue to walk the Stoic path together. Rise, be firm, be Stoic.